Welcome to the very bright World Shrine in Piscatorius for Gothics, and welcome to a brand new money making method on my account with something very niche for the hunter skill. Now this is going to be a very low requirement hunter guide, and there's quite a bit to it, but if we do it right we can make up to roughly about 5 mil per hour doing this, and there's two methods in this video as well. So if this one doesn't work for you, then there's definitely a chance to make money with the other one. So we're going to be starting here, and to get here you can just use some memory strands. You should be able to pick these up from divination. So to start with, we're just going to need some box traps, and then we're going to need some rabbit snares as well. So for the first part of this, it's sort of a two-part process as well. We're going to need to go and hunt some ferrets. Now ferrets are just south of this. They're going to be near Nicholas, who is part of the Eagle's Peaks quest. To catch ferrets, it's just simply box traps, as if you do anything with, same way you do chinchompas. So to do this for an hour, I'm going to need roughly about 40 ferrets. So I'm going to go get hunting those, and then I'll come back to you guys once you're ready for stage 2. So we're going to just rock it for 8 ferrets just to show the method. Now to do this, first of all, you will need 27 hunter to be able to hunt ferrets. Now this requires Eagle's Peak to be completed, and what we're actually going to be hunting is white rabbits. The white rabbits as well also require just 27 hunter, so 27 hunter for this whole method, which can make up to 5 mil an hour, is pretty low. Don't get me wrong, it can be a little bit tedious because you're doing a two-step process. You need to get the ferrets first to then hunt the rabbits, but if you're pretty quick as well, use your Spirit Terror Bird for unlimited energy. You can streamline it and get very good very quick. So the first part, we've got the ferrets. So next we need to go and set up the traps around the rabbit holes to then prepare to set the ferrets down loose down the rabbit hole, and then hopefully we can loot some rabbits. So as standard, the higher your hunter level is, the more snares you can set. The max will be 5 snares at level 80. So once you've got your snares set outside the holes, all you need to do then is to flush the ferret down the rabbit hole, and then the ferrets will chase the rabbits out of the holes and be able to snare them from there. Once you've snared a rabbit and suddenly that rabbit is now gone, you just go and loot it. And what we're looking for is actually not the rabbit itself, which is a little bit GP, 800 GP. The lucky rabbit's foot is what we're really after, and that is 20k. So as you can see, you don't need to hunt many rabbits per hour to actually be able to make quite a lot of money, but it's pretty much just running back and forth between the spots and then using the ferrets to flush the rabbits out, just to make sure that you're making the money. Now the annoying thing is as well, you need to keep on top of all your traps to make sure that they are properly up and ready for when the rabbits do get flushed out. Once you've got a habit of this though, and once you've got it pretty much down to a T, you are making the best part of 20k per kill or per hunt from the rabbits. Now the ferret on average was roughly good for about 2 to 3 rabbits. However, the longer the ferrets last, the better chance you've got of basically getting more rabbit's foot per ferret. Now to achieve the 5 mil an hour this method is definitely capable of, you need to be roughly getting 250 rabbits per hour, which as long as you're on top of your traps, you don't seem to miss so far. The only time I've missed is when I've not looted a trap and the rabbits just ran straight past it. So that would be the only thing for that. But in terms of a moneymaker, once you've sort of got everything down, there's no saying you just can't camp ferrets for a big chunk to start with, and then after that just go completely on with hunting the rabbits. That is definitely a way of approaching it. It's whatever you prefer and what works for you. Me personally, I'd like to do it half and half because the ferrets can definitely look like they get tedious to start with as well. But they can be banked, so if you want to make a nice stockpile of them, that is something you can definitely do. But yeah, this method is roughly 5 mil an hour. You only need 27 hunter. In terms of XP, you can gain upwards to 41k XP an hour, which isn't bad, definitely at that low level. And you can make quite a lot of money pretty quickly by just doing this method. So it's all good saying that this method works, but does it really work? So let's go to the GE now, and we're just going to go and see if we are able to sell it. Now I would like to point out as well that you will get bones with that. I have a bone crusher in my tool belt, which is why it doesn't come to my invo. So your invo can get a little bit messy, but definitely recommend a bone crusher. Just in general, it's such a good item, but for things like that, especially for that kind of hunter, it's definitely worthwhile. So they haven't sold, so I'm just going to throw them in for, let's try 16k. So you can see their auto price is 5.8k each, which is not as good as what the guide said. So you're still going to make roughly about 2 mil an hour, which for as low as of the requirements it is, it's not bad. So you will still make money training it as level 27 hunter, but it's not quite as good as what it's been advertised. So I'd say it's 2 mil an hour as opposed to the 5.5, 6 mil an hour it can appear due to the price. Now, however, if you are patient, I'm going to put these in for just under 13k each. I'm going to leave them in the GE, and if I do sell them, I will pop them in a post which I can do with YouTube and thing. I'll post something like the DK's loot on that as well. I will put that on there if these do sell. So that is something to keep an eye on. And it's a reason to subscribe to see if these actually do sell for that price. So that hunter method might not have been the best, but I've got another one lined up as well. So I'm going to actually keep these ferrets in the bank because I think they're quite a cool item. So for this next method, the only item you do need is your tool belt equipment and a teasing stick. So we're going to go and hunt some lopia. Basically, it's what you used to wear as hunter robes back in the day. So for this, we'll need to go to Karamja, and then from the lodestone, we can just run south. Alternative teleports are the Fairy Ring, the Grok teleport, and also Shilone you can run over. So we're going to teleport to Uglog and then run north. So what we're going to be doing is hunting lopia, or whatever it is. Basically, these things here. So what you do for this, you basically need to set up this trap pit, and you basically need to get it ready, and then you lure it over, and then it falls in, it dies, and then you skin it. So we're going to set this trap pit up now. So what you do is you tease it with your stick, you tease the noob, and then you jump over the spike pit. Basically what you got to do is lure it over to the sides, and then you can jump over. And hopefully the lopia isn't able to jump over and it falls into the trap. So let's see if it's going to do it. Yeah, there we go. So it's just jumped in, dismantle the corpse, and then hopefully you get a lopia fur, which is currently worth 34k. Now from memory, you can get some tatty fur, which is not what you want, and which isn't the best option as well. But that's pretty much what you do. You go and you get a log, you jump over the pit. The lion tries to follow. Sometimes it will follow and all you gotta do is just lure it back around, but then most of the time it's going to collapse and you can just skin it. There you go, that is the tatty fur, which we don't want. That's not what we want at all. Now, what I'm just gonna go and try as well really quick. So rather than having to hunt down every form of log in this jungle, what you can do is actually use protein logs, which means that you're not, you can spend whatever time you're doing in just hunting the lopia and making sure that the lion basically goes over the trap. This spot can be very finicky for trying to find the logs to make sure you can make the traps. However, with protein logs, you can just click and set it up there and go and grab the lopia or the lion as soon as possible, get it lured around and then get it going even quicker. So you're not wasting your time having to find logs. You use protein logs because they're stackable and because you no doubt have a ton in your bank as well, which will hopefully help you make GP even quicker and make it a bit better. Again, similar to the rabbit's foot, that's not quite selling just yet. What I'll do, I'll try and sell one at the absolute minimum. Let's see what we're going to get for it. Again, with this, apart from losing some proteins, it's all profit. Right, so it's only in there for 10 GP. So, right, that is a bit worrying. So I put the offers in for the rabbit foot and the lopia fur last night, and they've both come through and they've both sold. So these items are both pure profit. You never know, you can test over time what sort of sell price you can get overnight. Now I took swords for 11k off the fur. If I was to sell it again, I'd probably sell it 27k. And the rabbit's foot, I took 7k off that. I'd probably try 15k again and just work my way out to finding a price, which is something which will sell quite comfortably overnight to get rid of them. But they do make money. They don't make as much money as what the wiki says or what I thought they did, but there's definitely potential in these items because they're so low volume by the look of it. And it looks like no one really does them, but there'll be a lot of testing in terms of sell prices, but you're definitely going to be making a couple mil per hour with both methods. Me personally, out of two, the fur is a lot more easier. You've not got two processes. You can use protein logs, and it's probably the more profit out of the two. But I would suggest you guys go test it out, see how it goes, and see what price you can sell it for overnight or instant, depending on how the market is. It might change by the time you guys do it. It might be in demand and sold a lot quicker. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.